Oh, hello there, SCP Foundation staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation, as you well are aware. And as I have done for the last 9.5 months and counting, because the daily streak must remain strong, I am here to open my door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, for a short time to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, we are here for the next 2 hours guaranteed, maybe more if chat is feeling zesty enough. We will see how the energy is today. But before I begin today's stream, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Chest to Factory, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Zenith, Dr. Frogman, Puppet Boy, Night Synth, Titanborn, Amber, Senior Researcher Alex, Terragal, Just Pit, Zerdrin, anyone else? Bombus ADHD. Everyone who I have just named, alongside Aflac, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being members of Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Avari, Ease Channel, Crispy Calamari, Mila, and Rosehill, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Double checking some things in the back channels. Good to know, all clear. Thank you, desk. As always, we appreciate your service to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You might notice I'm a little flustered. I'm a little verklempt today. We'll talk about it. Someone mentioned, what is that thumbnail? That was from an encounter that I had with the SCP entity known as Waldo at MetroCon Tampa about 2 years ago. As you can see, it did not go well. But that is not why I'm flustered today, but I am in a similar mood of ugh. But we'll get there. Before we get to the excitement, let us remember, today's stream is sponsored and it's sponsored by us here at Site 42. Site 42 is trying to do our best to bring merch to the people that is not just SCP logos. And so we have the Reservoir Docs t-shirt. The Reservoir Dogs-esque parody t-shirt featuring SCP researchers, such as Dr. Alto Clef, Dr. Kane Pathos Crow, Dr. Sherman, Dr. Sumerian, Dr. Kondraki, and Dr. William Wallace Weddle. Commissioned with art from prominent SCP artist Jade PNG, and hosted at the scpstore.org, friends of the channel both. So if you want to help us elevate the SCP merch game, we'd appreciate it if you support the channel by purchasing a t-shirt in the link that is pinned in the chat or in the description of this video. Thank you to Site 42 for sponsoring us here at Site 42. Now, today's stream subject, before I get into the donos, before I get into the general Q&A, it seems we left yesterday's stream on a bit of a cliffhanger. You see, Dr. Frogman alerted us in the chat that SCP author Diorich, at least I hope I'm pronouncing that right, has publicly deleted a very large swath of their writings in relation to the fundamental lore of the Scarlet King, which is crazy just at the outset. Oh my lord. And so, let's talk about it. So, the author page of Diorich has their leaving the community note. They have a short, well, not so short, but a little short note here that I'm going to summarize. If you want to go to the author page of Diorich, you can read the entire thing. But in summary, why is Dust and Blood gone? Now, I'm already cutting in to react before I've read anything more than the title. Dust and Blood, if you're not familiar, is one of the fundamental lore pieces of the Scarlet King. I mention it in my Scarlet King Declassified video. And so, why is this gone? This cornerstone of Scarlet King lore on the SCP database? Because I do not want this cycle of stories which are of extreme personal significance, to remain hosted on a website where it took staff nearly 4 years to remove a page where an administrator booted for grooming and exploiting minors depicts their habitual masturbation to CSAM as a fucking joke. Oh boy, we're getting serious business here very quickly. So, as background to that opening volley, that opening salvo, if you are fans of this channel for some time, you have been subject. You are not suspect. I do not suspect you of anything, but you have been subject to the phrase, "We do not talk about Bruno." And what that means is that we do not talk about the character known as Dr. Bright. And the character known as Dr. Bright is banned from Site 42, as is mostly banned from the SCP Wiki in general. The SCP authorships does not utilize Dr. Bright anymore, and the reason for that is quite simple. The author of Dr. Bright, who we shall refer to as either Duckman, which was their previous handle before they were admin of the wiki at some point, or we can call them Author Bright. Duckman or Author Bright, to differentiate them from Character Bright, was an admin at the SCP Wiki for a while. And they were also the creator of this author insert character Dr. Bright, which was just their user roleplay character on the database. And many of you might be familiar with Dr. Bright because they are the Bugs Bunny of SCP as a community. If you ask someone who doesn't know much about SCP what they know about SCP, they probably know who Dr. Bright is. Unfortunately, that Author Bright person was banned from the community for a litany of alleged grody business. Business that is listed in our video, The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright, as well as in the description of that video, links to deeper analysis of the evidence on a separate channel, friend of the channel, Dr. Sumerian. And so we're not going to litigate why Dr. Bright was banned. That is old history. We don't talk about Dr. Bright because shit's cray. Shit's real cray. But Dr. Bright was banned from the community in 2022. That is 4 years ago. And what Jorich is essentially mad about here is that it has taken 4 years for the administration of the SCP of the SCP Wiki to move from banning Dr. Bright, the author, to now addressing the works of Dr. Bright that exist on the database. Because the works of Dr. Bright on the database do multiple things. They, a lot of them codify the grody things that author Bright was banned for. The Dr. Bright list had a reference to character Bright jorking it to CP. And so, yeah, there were multiple instances of the Dr. Bright character being a pedo in the same way that author Bright was banned from the wiki for. Yeah, it's not great. Intern Adamant saying people will abuse any power and influence, won't they? Humanity is sad. That's true, and that's part of why we're talking about this today. So, it has taken SCP Wiki staff 4 years to figure out what the fuck to do with Dr. Bright's legacy on the database. Now, this is not for me to yell at Wiki staff, because I, as a nearly 40-year-old man who has worked in multiple communities, has organized multiple communities, the scale at which the SCP Wiki staff is qualified to be handling this, i.e., none of them are professionals. They are all volunteers who are dealing with things way out of their weight class, because this was a Garam fan fiction site that blew up to be something so much bigger than anybody expected. I, at least, am prone to give them a little grace. They're dealing with heavy level PR disaster, and they are just volunteers on a fan fiction website. And I do think, personally, now, I am not the arbiter of the SCP community. I am not the arbiter of what anybody thinks. Fan, SCP author, viewer, I don't know. I can't arbiter what you decide to believe here. But I think that they are dealing with a whole lot, because when you look at the legacy of Dr. Bright, we have the SCP Wiki community, the writers, the authors, the core community. And I would say the core community of I'll specify this, the English language wiki, the original, but only the English language. I would guess, just a loose guess, 95%. Get rid of all of Bright's stuff. Fuck that guy. Fuck that character. Gone. I believe that to be the pretty solid opinion of the staff. Or, sorry, not the staff. The authors. The staff are the people who run the wiki. The authors are the people who write the stories. But when you go into the foreign language wikis, they don't know about the drama, or they are far enough removed about it that they don't really worry about it as much. And the fans, the off-site fans, not only do they really not care what the authors think, but they are more emotionally attached to the Dr. Bright character, the Bugs Bunny of SCP, that they really don't want to let go of their little favorite guy. And the SCP Wiki excising that tumor would cause a lot of blowback. And then you go back to the SCP authors who are like, well, why do we care what the offsite community thinks? Why don't we just do what we want? Because we are the authors, we are the staff, we are the heralds of this community. Let's do what we think is right. And there are 2,000, maybe 2,000 to 5,000 SCP authors. There are millions of offsite fans. And when they get mad, if you are an SCP author, you are in danger of being caught up in the PR firestorm, so to speak. Because you're not just writing for a little fan fiction site. You are writing for something that movies are made of, that games are made of. Your works might be picked up, and then your opinion on a little fan fiction site drama might get blown up into the kind of things that anti-woke YouTube videos are made about. So, all I'm saying in this set is I understand why the SCP author base is mad it's taken this long. I also understand why the staff of the wiki has taken so long. Now, maybe not 4 years, and even the wiki staff understands this has taken way too goddamn long. And now here I go again, both sidesing. But, again, they are just unpaid volunteers. No one on SCP Wiki staff gets paid. I don't know if you realize that. They are running this site like a business for free. Unpaid volunteers, many of them fucking 18 to 25-year-olds. As a nearly 40-year-old, I am impressed with how slowly and well-mindedly they have looked at all the factors for what they're dealing with. Okay, all of that was from the first 2 sentences of this author post. So let me continue. Jiminy sakes, Sherman, you're going to be talking all day. So, Jorich adds, I wrote Dust and Blood, and by extension started my personal canon, because I didn't like how 231 handled the subject of sexual assault. And yes, when 231 by Dr. Clef, the original author Dr. Clef, was written, it did have some insensitive topics out there. Don't forget, SCP started on 4chan. So, there was a lot of edgelord shit. We can't deny that. Thankfully, most of the community grew up and did better. I won't pretend my attempts were some golden godsend or that I didn't make a damn fool of myself during the process. Insert whale joke here. The whale joke is a deep cut. It's in my SCP declassified video for the Scarlet King, if you want to know what the context is there. But that's where it started. It's a topic fundamentally inseparable from the canon's main narrative arc. A universe fundamentally broken by a cosmic act of violence, mirrored as above, so below in the Foundation's mundane institutional evil, and how its ignorance, fear, political inertia, and short-sightedness causes it to commit and perpetuate similar atrocities. But contained within all of that is the slim sliver of hope that there might be some way, some miracle at the end of it all, by which the world can be healed. Well, I guess that's why it's a fantasy. And this is where we come back to. It took 4 years since 2022, the Bright ban of the author Bright, to figure out what the hell to do with the works of Dr. Bright. But it also took several years in the before 2022 to finally ban Dr. Bright for what the author Bright had done. Now, I can't nearly get into what happened there. I have been around the community for a while, but I've been on staff as the most tertiary outsider. I do not know most of staff's decision-making process. So I'm just guessing this by what I see from the outside. Don't quote me as fact. This is just a hypothesis. By the time the accusations of Author Bright got enough to act on, it seems to me that Author Bright had already left the community for a long time. And so there was talk of, do we really need to deal with banning someone who's already gone based on the actions that take place when they were here, despite the fact they've been gone for a while? And I'm not going to say that was a good thing to do. Perhaps they should have acted on it rather than just pass the buck because they didn't need to worry about it because the person was already gone. But symbolically, someone who was a former administrator, someone who authored one of the most popular characters in the community's consciousness, it probably was symbolically bad to let that linger for so long without acting on it. And I do believe that staff acknowledges that. Continuing on. At this point, Jorek goes into being mad that it's taken 4 years since the banning of Author Bright, otherwise known as Duckman, to finally do something about the stories written by Duckman on the site or that reference the character Bright on the site. And so, just 1 second. Chat, you will never be able to field the amount of people who are coming to this conversation halfway, thanks to the Shorts algorithm. So please don't worry if people are role-playing in the chat. I know they're going to. I'm doing what I can to get this segment done so I can get to standard Q&A. But just don't fight over people in the chat not paying attention. Ooh, fun. Thank you, intern Skeletal Tree, for bringing this up. An important factor here. Hashtag free fictional characters from consequences of the real people who made them. Unfortunately, Skeletal Tree, I have to disagree with you here. And that's because, as is brought up in my video on this subject, The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright, you can only separate the art from the artist when there is a degree of separation from the artist reaping the benefits of that art. So consider it like this. My two favorite examples. H.P. Lovecraft was super racist. Crazy racist. Until the end of his life, he got better. Yeah, we get it. But, point is, let's say he never got better. H.P. Lovecraft has been dead for hundreds of years. You are not supporting H.P. Lovecraft living a better life, making money, by enjoying Cthulhu mythos in this day and age. But J.K. Rowling of Harry Potter fame, Rurouni Kenshin's creator, whose name I forget, they are actively alive and benefit monetarily when you purchase things in their fandoms. And with J.K. Rowling, maybe you are not, you're so attached to Harry Potter that you can look past the turf business. I can't. Maybe you can. Maybe you like Rurouni Kenshin so much, you could look past the amount of CP that the creator of Rurouni Kenshin was caught with and imprisoned for. Yikes. And so, when you are actively giving support to the creator by enjoying their art, then separating the art from the artist is not as tenable. This is a spectrum of it's okay to it's not okay that everyone has to make a decision on. But I will tell you, my decision is Dr. Bright is not on the okay side of the spectrum. And that's because the Dr. Bright character's fame and the Dr. Bright character's influence was what allowed the author of Dr. Bright, Duckman, to use their fame to entice more people into the grooming scenarios that got them banned from the SCP Wiki, that allowed them to flaunt their power over the SCP staff for so long that the SCP staff could not get rid of them due to the thought of reputational damage. It was, oh my god, if we ban Bright, then we're going to get in trouble with the community. And that was the power that Author Bright wielded. And so we cannot keep Dr. Bright while all of this reputational gloating still fuels the power of the creator to both have a reputation as well as get new victims through being, hey, I'm the guy who wrote Dr. Bright. Do you want to come to my bordello? Yikes. And so, Skeletal Tree, whatever your username was, I'm not mad at you. I understand your statement, but I have to differ in this scenario. And the SCP community mostly has to differ in this scenario for the reasons. Continuing on. And so, because author Jorich is mad at the SCP Wiki's delayed response, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different SCP tales, as well as one SCP that Jorich has written, have been deleted from the database. And so, as SCP authors have power over their works, as the rules of the SCP database states, Jorich has deleted a bunch of works like they're allowed to. They've left up a bunch of other ones, but they've deleted some that have very strong lore backdrop for the Scarlet King. And so that's a bit of a conversation going on now, and pardon, why? Now, me, of my personal opinion on the situation, I'm going to go here. George deleting their works, I'm not a huge fan. I do believe that when you release something to the Creative Commons, you are kind of signing away your rights, and you shouldn't be doing that. I understand power to the artist, but I'm also holding an artist to their word that if they release something to the community, that they are releasing it and they're just not going to take it down. That's my personal opinion. Not that I'm even angry at George about it. It's just not something I like the idea of very much. I'm not castigating Jorich in any way because they are free to be mad about what they are mad about. And, what's the phrase? Maybe if things got solved a year ago, maybe if things got solved a week ago, then Jorich might not have had this reason to do this in their mind. Hell, maybe they just had one bad day that tipped them over the edge. I mean, think about it. Is a website of internet horror writers going to be immensely emotionally stable? Not sure about that. But can't be mad, and I hope the best for the creator, and that maybe if things go right in the current process, they might change their mind and bring those stories back. Oh, what do I mean by current process? So, because of this Dr. Frogman nuclear bomb on our desk at the end of stream yesterday, I went to work. I did my job yesterday after stream. But then this morning, I did some research. I did some digging. I did some poking of the SCP Foundation staff because, I don't know if you know this, but I am literally the term is adjunct staff member of the SCP Wiki staff. Now, adjunct staff means that I am a lower level of staff that doesn't do anything. I don't have a job on the SCP Wiki, but I am just enough of a little staff member that I'm allowed to hang out in certain outside rim staff channels if I have to talk to staff specifically. And it's usually because I am getting you guys in the chat intel from the staff for when situations happen like this, or when I am working with SCP filmmakers or SCP game makers, merch makers, etc., different companies, I want to be able to liaison between those companies and staff has decided to allow me that privilege. So, I talked to my contacts within the SCP Foundation staff, and they liaisoned me to the Bright Replacement Project, which has news. You see, it is kind of ironic that Jorik did this cancellation of their works the same weekend that the Dr. Bright Replacement Project has reached its final leg. And now let me make sure I got my wording perfectly correct here, because I do not want to give you guys the wrong idea. So, what is happening is that there is a series of proposals that have been collaborated on by staff. The reason there are multiple proposals is because staff is working out several factors that will be affected due to trying to replace Bright in any manner. A big factor is that in the past, the phrase staff overreach has been used for when SCP Wiki staff acts a little holier than thou in the eyes of the public and overreaches their powers. And they are trying their best to not look like they are the hand of God, smashing and smiting people. Because in this situation, what a lot of the SCP author community wants is mass deletion of the author Bright's characters. And the situation is, Desk, do me a favor. In this conversation of all, it's okay if people are mentioning Bright by name. Now, they might have a problem, because I actually have many iterations of Dr. Bright on the auto mod on the channel. But at least at this time in this conversation, they can use the word. So, as I was saying, there is a factor that people are worried about in this setting, which is called, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Oh yes, the mass deletion privilege. The mass deletion privilege is what if the SCP Wiki staff just decided, nuke all of the stories, just out of hand. That sets a precedent that they could do this in the future. And the question becomes, okay, so what reason would you have to do something at this massive of a scale? What would an author have to do to merit mass deletion? Could it be that they were a proven arrested pedophile? Is it that they groomed somebody? Is it that they harassed somebody? Is it that they X, Y, or Z? What crime merits mass deletion? They want to figure out a precedent, because whatever staff does now, staff will continue to do in the future. So that's what they are doing as one factor. A secondary factor is that because Dr. Bright is one of the most popular characters, and because, as we always talk about here in the Containment Hazard Assessment Team for Site 42, most of the off-site fandom doesn't know about the situation. Mostly, it's in the SCP community's tight-knit core that knows about it. That's why I have to bring it up all the time, because so many people don't know about it. And so what if they come to the database and the article is just deleted? Well, they get confused. And then they go look for it. And then they find out why it was deleted, but maybe they find out about it from us. Or maybe they find out about it from a less credible source, one who might be more sympathetic to the author in question in the first place. And then we start getting a PR battle that we don't want to have to deal with. Let me see what else I've got. So yes, and finally, they need to do what they do to make sure that they provide harm reduction for the victims of Arthur Bright, as well as potential future victims. If they do nothing, then Arthur Bright's popularity remains untarnished in the eyes of the public, and Arthur Bright is able to continue to lure people like that. So all I'm saying is, staff has a lot of things on their plate, but there are numerous proposals in line right now that are being discussed this week. And at the end of this week, they are planning to hold a vote to choose a proposal and implement it, which means we are in the last leg of this journey. Finally. And, as I said earlier, staff is understanding that this has taken way too long. They understand that this should have been quicker, but they are trying to get the job done now. Intern Minty saying, you wonder how 963 will be involved? That is part of many of the proposals, is questioning what to do with the most popular articles like 963. So, staff is going through that. Staff will have a vote within the next week or two. There is a, okay, we haven't gotten a final choice, so we're going to extend discussion for another week clause. They're being very thorough and democratic about this among staff. And so they are ironing this out. We will soon, probably within a month, know what the result is, at most. Likely within the next 2 weeks. Whew. But this is what I spent my morning doing to make sure that you guys know what's going on. So yes, that is why George quit the wiki in frustration with the staff. I also got intel on what staff is up to and why, so that you guys would know how the story is progressing. And now I'm tired. We are 37 minutes into stream. I am going to utilize the restroom. I'm going to come back with Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, to give us a cleanse. And then we are going to continue to the standard Q&A, including any donations that have come in, and we will be back to normal. So please, Dr. Chair, keep them entertained for a second. I was not expecting Agent Charlemagne to be here. Bye, Agent Charlemagne. And now, here is Puppy of Interest 42. So yes, Dr. Chair was sitting with Agent Charlemagne, the site cat, for a bit. And now here is Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. Charlie without the E, just with an I. And a little heart over the I, although you can't do that in text. She came over to say hi, but she also is very sleepy. So we gotta learn, yes, little Charlie. Very good girl. My mouth did need a bath. Thank you for that. All right, go little big ears. Go back to your nap. Dr. Chair, keep them entertained for one more second. I need to get a hand wipe. My love for the babies is only tempered by how much I am allergic to them. My allergy medicines are doing their job. Okay. This beat hits hard. Intern Jeff Knotts. If you like this beat, you should be checking out a song by the name of Time Crimes by Slowgramming. Time Crimes by Slowgramming by friend of the channel, Billith, SCP author and experimental musician who has made many songs about SCP articles, including the classic Weddle's Lament. And so, Slowgramming is available on SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube for your listening pleasure. All right. I've had a long morning. I did a lot of research. You're welcome. Give me something fun to deal with for a minute. Affleck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a burrito on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, the Chaos Insurgency are planning to fly buildings into planes. How unoriginal. Frickin' losers. I mean, technically that's a non-anomalous crime, so it's really not our job, but forward it to a contact of ours in the Unusual Incidents Unit of the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and they'll pass it up the chain. Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a box of red vines on your way past the commissary. What would the SCP Foundation do if Iron Lung happened? And I'm talking about the game and the movie. Well, the game and the movie happened already, and we didn't do anything about it because they are non-anomalous. But if you're talking about if the event within the games happens, a quiet rapture, so to speak, I mean, we can't do much better than the... What's the COI's name? The, something of iron? We would be them, rather than the Eden group. Religious zealots? No, that's hippies. That's the Serpent's Hand. No, we would be the COI, running tests and research and trying to find a way to save humanity. Let me go to Iron Lung COI. It's the consolidation of iron is what they're called. Okay. Yeah, we would be the consolidation of iron if in the Iron Lung universe, for sure. Kyla, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Wafa Thin Mint on your way past the commissary. Any SCPs should draw during my stream. I think you should draw... I believe what I want you to draw... Nope, not that one. Definitely not that one. Nope, that's not right. SCP-4966. Codename Tabioka, Devourer of Souls, Consumer of Secrets, Lord of Munchies. You should be drawing Tabioka. That should be your art project for today, Kyla. You saw nothing. Intern Undead Nuclear Gamer, which, in case you're unfamiliar, is a fabulous SCP Shorts YouTuber. If you want more SCP Shorts videos, comedy sketches in your content, check that out. Undead Nuclear Gamer. Our Discord server is kept at a secret location that many people ask about, but few people are brave enough or determined enough to check it out when we talk about it in the outro of every stream. And so it's a test. You gotta find it. It's an Easter egg hunt. But with the note that we talk about it in the outro, maybe you'll be keen enough to find it. Dr. Sherman, have you seen the SCP Containment Breach movie by Keter Labs? If you haven't, I really think you'll like it. Oh, intern Fast Freddy, I'm about to embarrass myself. Yes, I am quite familiar with the team behind Containment Breach the movie. I talked to them in the back channels to figure out how to help them with their Kickstarter that's coming up and their team up with Decentralized Pictures, the filmmaking grant nonprofit run by the Coppola kids. So that's crazy that they're teaming up with them. But this morning, they released a video about replacing Dr. Bright in their SCP Containment Breach, the movie short, when it goes to feature, because they did not realize that Dr. Shaw didn't use the necklace, and so they accidentally used Dr. Bright when they didn't mean to. And something about the way they worded it, and when I wake up this morning and I was only halfway done with my morning coffee, it was a Red Bull, it wasn't a coffee. I emailed them, I'm like, you can't be serious still using Bright. No, please don't do this to me. I can't, not after this weekend. No, it's not brand safe. I can't help you if you do that, stop. And then I watched the video again and I was like, oh, they said they were replacing Bright. I completely misunderstood it. Email them back. I'm sorry, disregard last message. I misunderstood. I was wrong. I'm the bad guy. So yes, they have a video about what to do if they want to use Dr. Shaw or some other doctor like Clef or something. And so go to their video and support them replacing Bright with whatever you feel like is a better replacement. I think they'll be safer if they don't just use like a Shaw or a Cairns, because those are Bright replacements that still have like a link, but it's not bad. But maybe they just pick another guy entirely. I don't know. Intern Adamant, you're asking me if I'm addicted to stress. Is that the way that I get things done? If I'm not under pressure, then I sleep too long and I lay around like a bum. Yes. Yes, that is what I am. Addicted to stress, that's the way that I get things done. If I'm not under pressure, then I sleep too long and I lie around like a bum. I think I'm getting nowhere and that makes me nervous. Everybody's out to get me, but I feel all right. Everybody's out to get me, but I feel all right. Everybody's out to get me, but I feel all right. Everybody's thinking about me. Stress by Jim's Big Ego is basically my life's theme song. Unfortunately for me. Also, it has a really good AMV on YouTube with Cowboy Bebop. Check that out if you haven't. Back to the chat. Zakinator, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself a coffee on your way past the commissary. 999 is in my office. Am happy. Well, yes, you signed up for 999 time today, and so 999 has been delivered as asked. Enjoy your slime time. Shock Trooper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. How the Foundation contains Sukuna. That's a lot. I would put it inside of a D class and then lock it in a cell where it can't get out. Seems fine to me. Yeah, if I can, I would put the cursed object that Sukuna turned itself into a box. You're right, Dr. Frogman. No one is forcing you to eat the fingers. Why would you eat fingers in the first place? Just don't eat the fingers. Put them in a box. Good ending. It's over. You're welcome. Happy to help. Undead Nuclear Gamer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Get yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. I see that your message was desked. You might have mentioned Bright or something like that before I said that it was cool. Oh, by the way, we're now in We Don't Talk About Bruno times. I talked about Bruno enough for today. We don't need to go back into that subject. We're done. Stream subject. Cut it. Synth, don't make that a video. I do not want to have to deal with the comments. Oh, God, but we have to broadcast it. I might consider making it into a video, but I'll be really mad. Also, it's so long and rambling. Probably not. Okay. Undead Nuclear Gamer, thank you for... first of all, Des, thank you for sending that in the back channels. I fully agree, Dr. Bruno scheduled for termination. Excellent. You chose wisely. Amy Ellswick, thank you for your 2 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Have a good day, Site42 staff, and you, Dr. Sherman. Yes, have a good day. I demand it. That's an order. Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for donating again to say. Has anyone seen my black hole crystal? I was going to use it to make a laser rifle for the God Mobile Task Forces. When you say the God Mobile Task Forces, do we have a mobile task force that is made of deific entities? Are you talking about mobile task forces that deal with deities? I need you to be more specific. Banana Cat, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Krabby Patty on your way past the commissary. What's up, Doc? I saw 096 running down the corridor. Well, yes, we had to do a speed test. So we put a D class out in the middle of the courtyard, and so make sure you avert your eyes. But the speed test will be done soon. Fandom Reactor, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a crepe on your way past the commissary. Savory or sweet is your choice. Have you used Marvel Rivals to study Spider-Man? No, because I'm not giving royalty money to that damned webhead. We are putting it in a box. I don't need a video game to tell me how to contain an anomalous man spider. Thank you. Banana Cat, thank you for gifting a membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. We appreciate your generosity. And shout out to Bismuth943. Congratulations on getting promoted by Banana Cat. And if you see this message, make sure to thank Banana Cat for their generosity. Zakinator, thank you for donating again, I believe. Nope, first time today. Thank you for your first donation of the day. Grab yourself a taco on your way past the commissary. I'm going to see the destruction of that amulet. Probably. Probably soon. Sooner than you would think. Banana Cat, thank you for donating again, and you didn't send a message this time, so simply thank you for your generosity. Ah, Bismuth is here to receive your promotion. Congratulations. All right, I've gotten through the super chats. Now I'm jumping over to the Ko-Fi. So, Amber, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. And thank you for making your donation through the Ko-Fi, which has only a 3% fee on what you donate, as opposed to the 30% that YouTube Super Chats do. So especially when you do larger donations, making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi is very much appreciated. Make sure to grab yourself a banana split ice cream sundae on your way past the commissary. Thank you for your service regarding the situation. Whoo! I am happy to do my best to report what is happening in the community for you guys, because not all of us can be watching the SCP community and its staff and dealing with this as a lifestyle. I'm glad you all have lives. I'm glad that I'm at least putting mine to use, being of service to you guys in this situation. Eesh! And I'm glad seemingly we're reaching the end of the situation finally. Also good. Dr. Dewison, thank you as well for going through the Ko-Fi, as well as your first donation, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a seafood cocktail on your way past the commissary. What are the top 3 group of interests that cause the most problems for the Foundation between the Global Occult Coalition and the Chaos Insurgents? All right, groups of interest who cause us the most trouble. Dr. Wondertainment is one of them because, dear Lord, and by Lord in this, I mean SCP-029-J, codename Uber Driver Jesus, because I do not want to be anywhere near the situation. I would rather be driven far, far away. Dr. Wondertainment by far manufactures the most anomalies that the Foundation has to contain. And so we are constantly having to deal with the things Dr. Wondertainment makes. Very frustrating. Furthermore, I'm going to give it to probably the Sarkics and the Church of the Broken God are a tie, because they are constantly at war, constantly making anomalies, causing public relations issues, arson, murder, and jaywalking, you know. And so, yes, very frustrating. Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for donating again to say. I was talking about Robotic God Squad. I forget the name of them. Also, you should listen to Fight Fire with Gasoline and I Need My Black Hole Crystal. So when you talk about Robotic God Squad, are you talking about Mobile Task Force Tau 5, codename Samsara? I mean, they're not so much gods. They are made with different anomalous components that some might consider to be from certain deities in some way or another. Let me pull up their description right now just so I can be completely clear. Immortal cyborg clones created from the flesh of a dead god. So that's what you mean, flesh of a dead god. Okay. They're not gods, they're crafted from a god. It is a very important distinction, please. But okay. Why do they need a laser rifle with a black hole crystal? They seem to be doing fine as they are. They are fairly effective in the field. And if they die, we can just clone another one. So, do we really need that? Sounds dangerous. And I have not heard of Fight Fire with Gasoline, but I'll have to look into it. 369 Destroyer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Slim Jim to snap into on your way past the commissary. Darn, missed the chance to insult the guy, oh well. The moment has passed, the situation was talked about for 37 minutes. It's time to move on. Zakinator, thank you for donating again to say, I'm having tea with 049. His mask is a beak weird. First and foremost, 049 is not a he to have a his. It's an it to have an its. SCP-049 is an anomaly, which means it is an object, not a person. It's an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Secondarily, well, its mask is its face. It is grafted to it. There are teeth under there, but they're so crowded within the mask and the chin that I don't know how it eats or talks. Unless, of course, we've never seen a real live-action version of it where it could move its mouth. Perhaps the X-ray shows... No, its mask goes under the chin in the X-ray. I'm not wrong. I'm right. I'm always right. 049 X-ray photo. Look at how it's grafted under the chin. And so, yeah, that mask is right there, and there is no slit. The mask doesn't open into two halves when 049 talks. So the fact that it can talk is still rather perplexing along with the rest of its anomalies. Ventriloquism. Oh, no. Intern Razor. Are you telling me that 049 is the Jeff Dunham of SCP? Is that what we're going with? Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again to say, Spider-Man fought 60 villains in one. What now? Where there's a will, there's a way. And my will is intense. And my friend Will is intense. That's two wills. We're going to get it. Spider-Man will go in a box. Mentally Lost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bucket of popcorn on your way past the commissary. Sorry about the earthquake there. Someone left a cardboard box on my desk that I didn't ask for. Well, that's suspicious. Also, a crazed man is running around with that thing and hitting people with a red stone. Security missive. Mental breakdown in sector... what sector was that? I can't call security until you tell me exactly where you are. In the meantime, Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for donating again to say, yes, they need a black hole crystal powered rifle, and the song Fight Fire with Gasoline is by the band Self-Deception. I'm still missing my black hole crystal, by the way. I need to know where it is. Well, then, I highly suggest you go find that, because that seems like an important piece of anomalous ephemera. A little too important to be lost around the site. Undead Nuclear Gamer. Do you have me on Discord? Just message me on Discord. Content creator. We gotta stick together after all. Chat is refreshing. There were notifications on the Ko-Fi. Let me get that real quick. Colonel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which has far fewer fees than a YouTube Super Chat. We appreciate your generosity. Make sure to grab yourself a artisanal grilled cheese on your way past the commissary. Happy to support Site 42. Well, much obliged for your generosity. Well, if I may inquire, what was your field of study before joining the Foundation? Actually, I was a transcriptionist and archivist when I arrived at the Foundation. My job was simply to transcribe text documents to audio format and vice versa for archival purposes. That was my profession before I came on, as well as a side hustle as a dance instructor, which I used to help with the Foundation Fitness Initiative. But it was on the job training that made me become a containment specialist, as well as other further learning through the Foundation accredited courses. Northern Glacier Corporation, thank you for donating again to say. Actually found it, I have a question. Who gave the Chaos Insurgency my damn crystal, Dr. Sherman? Where are you that the Chaos Insurgency is present? Let alone that they have your anomaly. What the hell is going on your side of this stream? It's very curious. "369 Destroyer, you are suggesting Markiplier to be in the Keter Labs film? Well, I would love for such a thing to happen, and it is known that Markiplier has a agent who can be contacted to get in touch for projects. I myself would like Markiplier for the Containment Breach with Markiplier, an SCP version of the Choose Your Own Adventure format that Mark codified with Heist and In Space. That's my dream project right there. The SCP Containment Breach with Markiplier, what a project that would be. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again to say, Subsector 62, Memetic and Anti-Memetic, Hazard Containment, also someone left a cardboard box on my desk. Why do I feel like I just repeated myself? Why did you mention the cardboard box again? I will send someone to Subsector 62 to handle that mental breakdown staff member with multiple anomalies. Be cautious. Good. Heist? Best Puppy Corn. If you're not familiar with the early works of Markiplier, Markiplier wanted to be a filmmaker and then got into YouTube gaming and stuff like that, but never lost the bug for making films, which is why Iron Lung, the feature film, is now in theaters. But the progress to that was with such choose-your-own-adventure format video compilations, such as A Heist with Markiplier or In Space with Markiplier, where you watch the video and then at the end cards can take you to different choices and the story progresses. So A Heist with Markiplier and In Space with Markiplier are two good examples of Mark's previous work before the Iron Lung feature film. Intern Undertale. The beginning of this stream is a 35-minute diatribe on why we don't talk about Dr. Bright. So I know you probably didn't know and just showed up to this stream, but please watch the start of this stream in the VOD or watch the video on our channel, The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright, as to why talking about that character is against the rules in our chat. Intern Tumbari, you are correct. A Date with Markiplier. I remember it as a joke within In Space with Markiplier, but I think A Date with Markiplier is also another choose-your-own-adventure situation. Dr. Frogman and SCP-049 Plague Doctor, you are correct that the likes are above the viewers by 1. We have 136 likes and 135 viewers, so keep hitting that like button, people, because the more that like button ascends the viewer count, the more YouTube's algorithm says, hey, I bet people need to know about this whole SCP Foundation thing. So perhaps, you should watch this guy, Dr. Sherman, at Site 42 right here. And then you should help him to support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, merch makers, etc. And so thank you, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, for your dedication to signal boosting as a member of Mobile Task Force Site-42, codename Signal Boosters. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again to say, do you have any Catch Spider-Man ideas that work? The next one will work, damn it. Just you wait. Intern San. And where's the other one? Where's the other one? Intern Undertale. Welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I have watercolors. What SCP should I paint? Dr. Singer, I suggest the water nymph. Isn't the water nymph in the 50s? SCP water nymph. I do believe that a water nymph would be a very apt watercolor anomaly. SCP-54. Dr. Clef would be cool in that containment breach game. Oh, intern Lonnie. If I had the opportunity to do containment breach with Markiplier, you better believe I'm making a cameo. Dr. Clef's make a cameo. You gotta encounter Clef, and maybe if you don't act quick enough, you get shot because of Clef's itchy trigger finger. Or you survive and you get orders to go do X, Y, and Z from Clef while Clef does something else in the facility. Would be a good time. Double checking my notifications here just to make sure I haven't missed anything. As a time check, Site-42 staff, we are approximately 75 minutes into this stream, leaving 45 minutes left in today's stream. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again to say, do you at least want pictures of Spider-Man? Haha. Well, if you have pictures of Spider-Man that we can use for research purposes, then yes, gimme. I also would like pictures of Spider-Man. That way, we can study how to best contain it. Clearly. Researcher, we gon' be all right. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a box of Cracker Jacks on your way past the commissary. Saw the Reservoir Dogs inspired shirt. I love it. Well, thank you very much. As soon as I had the idea, I was very excited. I hit up an SCP artist who I thought could pull it off quite well, and I think Jade PNG has knocked it out of the park. The shirt is very soft texturally. The model that I had wear it, that you see on the website, they were like, this is actually a very nice shirt. And I was like, damn right it is. And so, yes, I am very thrilled to put out some merch that isn't just your average SCP logo on it. I wanted something a little more artistic, have a little fun with it. And so, yes, the Reservoir Dock shirt, sponsored by Site-42. We are sponsoring ourselves today. Get it at the link in our description / the link that is pinned in the chat. Reservoir Docks for real. Meanwhile, you also said, which researcher is most like Mr. Blonde or Mr. Pink? Oh, God, it's been so long since I have seen Reservoir Dogs. Anyone want to help me out with that question? Mr. Blonde and Mr. Pink. So, Mr. Blonde strikes me as kind of a clef type, if I'm being honest. I believe Mr. Blonde might be a bit of a clef. Pretty violent. The whole stuck in the middle with you scene, I can really see Clef doing that, can't you? I can really see Clef as Mr. Blonde. Now for Mr. Pink, I mean, I think I might go with Weddle. I think I might go with William Wallace Weddle. I think Mr. Pink is kind of a loser a little bit, right? And it sounds, I bet Dr. Weddle would say he doesn't tip. It just sounds like a Weddle thing. Let me check something real quick. Yes. Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Desk has set upon a Herculean task of creating a visual tier list of our Mobile Task Force hot dog eating competition. And so, I believe, how many have you gotten on the tier list so far, Desk? The first page of the Mobile Task Force hot dog eating contest competition is on a solid tier list. So if you want to see the visuals about that, Desk has a link for that. / you can watch Desk stream on Twitch at the Desk SCP. Binary Ghosts, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself an espresso lemonade on your way past the commissary. My own reflection keeps giving disapproving and disappointed looks and gestures for most of what I put on to wear. Is this an SCP or just a jerk? Well, is that an anomalous mirror? Or are you anomalous and your reflection is communicating with you? Either way, that is not the right top. I mean, dear God, do better. Pick a different one. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again to say, if you want to research Spider-Man, play the games. Play the games? Those are video games. They are adaptations. They're not the actual Spider-Man. That's not how Spider-Men work. No, we have to study the real thing. Come on, son. Midwest Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some strudel on your way past the commissary. Keep up the hard work, Site42. You're damn right we will, one way or another. Hell yeah. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again to say, hey, someone left a cardboard box on my desk that I didn't ask for. Wait, there's a note. Don't forget about the box. Call for Containment Unite to put it away. Hey, who put this box on my desk? Wait. Does it sound like someone put both SCP-055 and the Procrastination Rock on Mentally Lost's desk? That is a bit what it sounds like. Intern Rob says, do you sell merch? As a matter of fact, Intern Rob, we were just talking about the merch. And so if you go to the pinned link in the chat, you will find the newest piece of Site42 merch, the Reservoir Docs t-shirt, as well as different SCP merch stores that support us along the way. Mobile Task Force Captain Mama Melta, Welcome to your newly minted membership here at Site 42. We appreciate you putting the effort to get a promotion and make your way up the ranks. Thank you for your membership and your service. Welcome to the team. Why didn't the Foundation prevent the Global Occult Coalition from destroying SCP-1609? Well, let's look at the SCP-1609 document and see if it has any clues for us. SCP-1609... It seems that the Global Occult Coalition beat us to the punch on containment and then attempted to destroy it. So we did not have a say in the matter. Why is Freddy Fazbear here? Intern Tyler, we are on YouTube. How would you expect Freddy Fazbear to not be here? Come on. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again to say, I think Spider-Man watches your streams and learns. Interesting. Well, if you are watching Spider-Man, might I suggest you get in the box. Containment is the best thing for you. Secured, contained, and protected. You're welcome. Free rent. No need to pay rent. 3 square meals a day in containment. Come on. Who wants to deal with capitalism and villains all the time? Just get in the box. It's right there. Sounds good, huh? Room and board. No supervillains. Get in the box. Intern Super Chaff, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as your mood sticker. Grab yourself a Snickers bar on your way past the commissary. Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Talk to Batman. He'd probably have more contingency plans than you. Prep time. I mean, Batman is not really in our wheelhouse as a mass vigilante, and without any anomalous abilities, we don't really care to track the Caped Crusader. But, I mean, maybe we could do a little agent study, see what we can learn around the way. Wouldn't be terrible. I would say Batman does a good job containing the anomalies of Gotham City, but they all get out of containment very easily, so maybe not such a good job? Intern Vipperman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a fajita on your way past the commissary. Hey, I appeared outside of my door last night. Not sure who delivered me, but I keep trying to toast bread in myself. Is this an SCP or is this normal? I see, so you have somehow gotten a hold of me, a toaster that makes you talk about it in the first person. Just bring me back, and we will put me back in the box. It's fine. Dr. Dewison, thank you for donating again to the Ko-Fi to say, do you think you would do well during SCP-001 when day breaks? Well, I mean, if I went outside, I would be turned into a flesh monster, so that doesn't sound like it's well for me. I do believe that I would be fine if I had a nice Foundation bunker that was well sealed and had plenty of provisions, but no one's really doing well in the When Day Breaks universes. Does the SCP Foundation pay well? Well, intern Rob, the problem is that while it does pay well, you don't get a lot of use for it while you work with the Foundation. I mean, it's not as if we can go out and celebrate our good funding in public very often. So most of what you use is going to be used after you retire, in which case we erase your memories, implant a false background and work history. That way you can survive outside the Foundation afterwards. And you'd be shocked how many people don't make it that far, which saves on payroll. Researcher Bateman, thank you for your 4 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hi, I'm new to your live. Well, Helka, intern official, welcome to today's stream here at Site-42. We stream daily. You never know what time, so make sure you hit the bell. Or if you are in the Site-42 Discord server, you can get the YouTube live alert roll that I ping at the beginning of every stream. It's a little more reliable than the YouTube subscription bell. But I open my office door to you, the Foundation staff, every day to make sure you guys get the best information on the anomalies we contain, the staff we contain them with, the groups of interest who try to stop us containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies outside of the SCP Foundation community, whether they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. I'm here to educate you on those, as well as sometimes SCP community news or SCP community projects that you should support, like films, games, merch, animated series and shows, and live action series and shows, all that kind of stuff. So, welcome to stream, and I hope you'll join us more often. 369 Destroyer, thank you for donating again to say, Spider-Man, as in the president of Chile? Is it Chile or Chile? You spelled it Chile like the food. And now you make me want to go to Chili's. I want some queso. You are making me hungry. But 6421 only exists if you type the numbers correctly. So yes, SCP-6421 is a detonation given to an anomalous phenomenon that is initially started in the year 2017, affecting multiple types of billboards and posters that are primarily or currently located in Chile. These affected billboards and posters, designated as SCP-6421-A instances, usually depict a photo or an artwork of the fictional Marvel Comics character Spider-Man as being the current president of the Republic of Chile. And there you are. President of Chile, Spider-Man. Interesting. I was familiar with the anomalous Spider-Man costume that makes you try to do superheroics, but then because you are not actually a superhero, you end up getting killed. That one I was familiar with. But not that Spider-Man is the president of Chile. That's news to me. Intern Pixel Studios, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Java Name, welcome back to Overseership here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Sorry that your membership expired. Whoopsie daisy. Philip November, thank you for donating again, and thank you for donating through the Ko-Fi. We appreciate your generosity and effort going through the Ko-Fi so that there are less fees on your donation. Thank you kindly. At least I think you did. Show me. Well, Oh, that's right. You have a different username on Ko-Fi. That's why I'm confused. Okay, yes. Thank you again. So, I want to see the Plague Doctor today. Got my humors in check. And you're not a zombie. Interesting. Good news for that, at least. Oh, time check. We are currently at 90 minutes, which means there are 30 minutes left in stream, everyone. 30 minutes left in stream, so get your questions in. Dr. Sherman, is Count Dracula canon to the SCP universe? Interesting. I do wonder. I know that Count Dracula is present in the Dresden Files universe. Dracul, anyways. I know that Count Dracula is present in the Marvel universe and owes Moon Knight money. I also know that Count Dracula exists in the Dr. McNinja universe, where Dr. Dracula has a moon base. But let's see if Dracula... So in Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting, they are claiming to have Dracula. Yes, it seems that Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting has Dracula in containment as an attraction in the Freak Show. And so you can look at that on the page titled Herman Fuller Presents Dracula. I will continue looking for Dracula in a moment, but Intern Electrified Rainbow asks, what is SCP and who is Dr. Sherman? Well, first of all, I am Dr. Theron Sherman. Welcome to Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. The SCP Foundation is a secretive organization that hides monsters and magic from the general public. Now, if you look at this from a higher pataphysical narrative level, then what you're actually looking at is a fan fiction website with a little bit more strict quality standards because there's a community vote. So if something is not very good, the community votes it down and it gets deleted. But it is a community writing project, one of the largest collaborative writing projects in existence. And it is focused on science fiction, horror. You can find stuff of any genre, though. But it's very Men in Black-esque. We hide anomalies from the public so that they do not stop living their day-to-day civilian lives. SCP-8897, desk informs me, is also Dracula. SCP-8897, codename... Oh, dear Lord. Oh, I'm calling out to SCP-4477, codename Cockblock Jesus, because this better be not what I think it is. The codename for SCP-8897 is Down for the Count. Nobody better be down for any anomalies. You are not down bad. You are not down. You are not fraternizing with anomalies. Yes, SCP-8897 is the Elder Vampire Vladimir Dracul Tepesh. Part of containment 8897 was the Patriarch of the Dracula Brood, though this position is now unoccupied and has numerous potential successors. Apparently in 1974, Dracula began a secret partnership with monster slayer Beowulf, which quickly morphed into the hunter extorting 8897. 8897 later selected Beowulf as his campaign manager for the 1977 mayoral election, which SCP-8897 has described as keeping his enemies close. All right. Well, I need to find out. No. 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 SCP-8897 has a cameo from a Lieutenant Columbo. No! Sigh, this was such short notice, miss. I hope I didn't pull you away from anything. Election season and all. Boy, you must be busy. Are you busy? SCP-8897, in which Lieutenant Columbo interviews Dracula. What am I supposed to do with this? Whose fault is this desk? Prometheum! Prometheum featuring Jay Dune. Oh, this is so funny. This is... Wait, where is featuring Jay Dune at? I only say Prometheum on it. So yes, after this stream, I'm definitely reading SCP-8897 for my own edification. Okay, thank you, Des, for clarifying. At the bottom, it says it's by Prometheum, Stormbreath, and Jay Dune. Lovely. Thank you for clarifying, Desk. And that's very cool, you three. I'm going to have to look at why Columbo is interviewing Dracula later. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me get to that before I forget it exists. Philip November, thank you for donating again. On the Dracula Marvel thing, it's ridiculous that the Avengers know Dracula and vampires exist, yet only Blade does anything about them. Well, yeah, there's that whole, yeah, Dracula's not our problem. Vampires, will just leave that to that one guy. It's fine. You know, I guess we cover all anomalies ourselves, and it is very taxing. It would be nice if there was a group dedicated... Oh, we have one! We outsource a lot of work to Wilson's Wildlife Solutions, the group of interest in the Pacific Northwest that handles anomalous animals. They're kind of like the Steve Irwin of SCP. But yes, I do think Dracula seems powerful enough that the Avengers probably should get involved. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again to say, hey, someone left a cardboard. Wait, I remember. I need an antimemetic hazard team to put this away before I get got again. Wait, what am I forgetting? Somebody go help Mentally Lost out of the anti-memetics ward, please. Kitty Fly, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some cotton candy on your way past the commissary. And please don't send cognito hazards in your messages. I mean, yes, we are protected from them by Desk's reality sync capabilities and cognito hazard is shielding. But that would be dangerous in any other field, so please don't take advantage of that for ill. Java Name, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as re-upping your membership. We appreciate your membership and your service, and your first donation of today's stream. Get yourself a gourmet Hot Pocket on your way past the commissary. If the Void from Tower Battles appears on the SCP verse, how the Foundation will react? Will they try to contain him or straight up killing him? You can find info about him on the Villain Wiki. The Void from Tower Battles, you say? The Void Tower Battles. So if the Void from Tower Battles appears in the SCP universe, game's narrator, high health, slow speed, several abilities, Shockwave to stun enemies, Stomp to do stuns, High damaging towers are generally used by players. Crowd control splash damaging towers. Clear hordes around it. Void is immune to most effects, include the stunner's shock, but it can be slowed down slightly by Harpoon Hunter's rods by a maximum of 10%. Void has dark black skin, blah, blah, blah. So it has stunning abilities. It can summon spawns, stump stun. So it feels like we would have to set up a gauntlet similar to what we do with SCP-0762, codename Able. What we would need to do is, from its spawn point, set up a series of anomalous and non-anomalous weaponry that can despawn the entity until it respawns. Similar to how we have to have a hallway of death, because as soon as Able respawns from the sarcophagus, SCP-076 itself, then Able's going to go on a killing spree. So we have to have a murder hallway to kill Able so that it is done for a while before it respawns. Mobile Task Force Captain Valcoon, thank you for re-upping your Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. By the way, Site-42 staff, we are 19 minutes from the end of stream. Sorry, 18 minutes from the end of stream. Epsilon 11 Troop, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. This is the third day in a row. I now remember your joke. What would happen if I gave SCP-420-J to SCP-173? What would happen is I would demote you to D class for repeating the same joke again and again. At least come up with new dad jokes. I believe in you. We're a writing community. Do what you can. Come on, Dr. Sherman, do your math right. What math did I get wrong? I'm never wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, no. The time ticked over from 19 minutes to 18 minutes. My math was correct. And then it became even more correct. Intern Matthew Burr, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a fruit salad, yummy, yummy, on your way past the commissary. So I put on SCP-035, and it's going good. Help me. Is it going good, or do you need help? I would assume you need help, since 035 is going to murder you. So, why'd you put it on, man? We warned you about this. Epsilon 11 Troop, thank you for donating again to say your punchline. Oh, right. It's like already stoned. New material, my friend. You've got the power. New SCP dad jokes. We need them. For instance, here's an SCP dad joke for you right off the cuff. I was very interested in SCP-8897 on its own merit just for involving Dracula. I thought that was very funny at the start. But then I heard that Lieutenant Columbo was in that SCP, you know? There's always just one more thing. You're welcome. Practice your material. You can do it. I believe in you. Captain Valcoon, thank you for your 2-month member message. We appreciate your membership and your service. So now that I'm a Mobile Task Force Captain, does this mean I can create my own Mobile Task Force called the Alphabet Mafia, made only of trans operatives? No, but only because your naming convention would be incorrect. If it was only trans operatives, it wouldn't be the full Alphabet Mafia. Well, it could if some of them, depending on sexualities as well. You just need to cover your bases. It can't just be the T. It needs to be the whole Alphabet Mafia to make the name appropriate. Epsilon 11 Troop, thank you for donating again to say, hey, want to hear a joke about 055? So, see, that was pretty good. No, you're already on the ball. I knew a joke about 055, but I forgot the punchline. No. Do you want to hear a joke about the procrastination rock, SCP? I'll tell it to you later. See? We can do it, guys. We can do it. Desk, nice. Do you know why the Wanderer's Library is so big? It has many stories. Hell yeah, Desk. Terrible. Love it. Philip November, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again to say. Do you think Buffy the Vampire Slayer would make a good 05 member? Also thoughts on the BTVS versus Vlade death battle. Well, I assume you meant Blade, and that means I have to figure out who Blade fought in a death battle, because I don't know what BTVS is. Oh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Got it. It's right there. It's right there. So first of all, Buffy the Vampire Slayer would not be a overseer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer would be a Mobile Task Force member. Obviously. Until older and having a cadre of Slayers underneath, then yes, that could be a different scenario, I guess, later down the line. And, yeah, I thought the Buffy Blade death battle was cool. I like it when they go into live action for their death battles now and again. The stage combat veteran in me from back in my theater days is always tickled pink by it. Epsilon 11 Troop, welcome to Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to Squad Gang. Squad Gang. Double checking and refreshing the chat. A little bit of a glitch. And we're back. Love the hair. Well, thank you, Firecrafted Gaming. My stylist on site did a great job, I must say. Thank you for all the work you put into these streams. I find them rather comforting. Well, intern Musical Sand, you're quite welcome, and thank you for enjoying them. I'm glad I can bring some peace of mind and some entertainment to a world that is not so peaceful of mind. We're doing our best on these streets. Cheese Jesus loves you. Intern Tambari, I really don't want SCP-6542 to love me. Jesus gives me the ick. And you would think, as a white guy, I would love cheese, but Jesus weirds me out. He has a stylist on site, extra much? Intern Dano, Site 42 is a campus with a lot of containment wings, with a lot of research wings, a lot of on-site restaurants and places where people can blow off steam. If you fly above it, it looks like a college campus, but it is obviously incognito. So yes, we have hairstylists on site. It's like any other military base. Epsilon 11 Troop, thank you for donating again to say, yes, I am actually a very funny. Yes, good work. Bringing new jokes to it. I look forward to your comedic future. What do your students, I mean testing interns, think of your hair? Well, Amber, there are the ones who are fans of the style, and there are those who are a little more, oh, you should just let it go back to natural, don't you know? But my hair, my choice. You weren't meant to see my message. Well, intern don't know. You put it in my chat, so my eyes are always open. Film November, thank you for donating again to say, if someone turned Jesus into queso, he'd love you inside and out. Oh. Oh, don't say it like that. Oh. Oh. Why do we contain SCP-6542? Just in case, oh rapture. Ugh. Dirty. Nasty. Nobody liked that. Everyone who's laughing in chat, nobody liked it. It's a feint. They're just trying to make you feel better. Dr. Sherman, do you know how fast SCP-173 can move? No, we do not, Intern Hunter Mark. Unfortunately, we have not been able to measure the movement speed of SCP-173 properly. It is quite fast. Oh, no! No, Intern Hunter Mark at 2, Hunter Mark. I think it's breakneck speed, Dr. Sherman. Damn it all. Damn it all. I was so mad that I threw my pen and I closed all of my tabs. So give me a minute. I need to reboot my computer in this last 7 minutes of stream so I can see chat. Where are my tabs? So I can see chat. Okay, we're back. We're back. Refreshing chat. Intern Hunter Mark, you have earned 1 solid gold-plated got 'em. Congratulations. Intern Matthew Burr, thank you for donating again to say, this ain't me, this is SCP-035, I'ma take over SCP right now. The fuck you are, you porcelain bitch. Get your ass back in your cell, or we'll make you. I should have said porcelain ponce for the alliteration there. I'll have to remember that one. Boy, I'm so glad the tomatoes, whose number I don't remember, aren't here. Yeah, Researcher Titanborn, we would be a lot of trouble if the SCP-504s were present. Why'd you do that? Fix that. There we go. All right, let me clear out some of these tabs that I'm not keeping open on purpose. Intern Guerrero, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. So super random, but would the Octonauts be Archon? Intern Simber, I seem to remember something called Octonauts, but I don't remember what it is. Octonauts is an animated children's series. Underwater exploring crew made up of stylized anthropomorphic animals. So they are definitely anomalous. They should be contained. They live in an undersea base, the Octopod, from which they go on undersea adventures with the help of a fleet of aquatic vehicles. So it's Paw Patrol underwater? Is that what I'm getting here? Why would we let these things loose? What do they do that merits being Archon rather than contained? I feel like our containment procedure is to just let them sit in their little ocean place thinking that they are going to be helping when really they are just playing around with problems that we created to keep them busy. It seems like we would be the ones setting up scenarios for them to feel like they're helping. That way, they stay in their little area doing their little thing. Epsilon 11 Troop, thank you for donating again to say, want to see a funny image? Insert the SCP-096 mountain photo. Bad play, old sport. You can do better jokes than that. Also, without murdering a cadre of our staff members. I mean, the look on their faces when you do it is pretty funny, so I'll give you partial credit. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again to say. So found out who gave my mug that makes the holder unperceivable of 049 a few days ago and left the box. I keep forgetting on my desk. Can we make Dr. Vermine Smith a D-class or something to stop them? I don't know anybody named Dr. Vermine Smith who works at Site 42. Is this an actual researcher? Is this some sort of intruder? Please pull up the duty roster and see what's going on. Could 096 catch you if you traveled to another universe? So, Philip November, consider this. If 096 can get to you, you are done. If 096 is in the same universe as you, it knows where you are and can track you. Just it can sense where you are. Okay, we know that. Now, if there is no doorway to your universe when you see 096's face, then you are safe. For now. Because once a doorway opens to your universe, 096 will sense the route to you and get through that doorway. And so you are safe as long as the door between universes is closed, but as soon as it opens, you're gone. Time check. Tiger Claws Gaming, we are literally 20 seconds from the end of stream. If there was a time for your last-ditch questions, now is the opportunity. Who do you think would have more hate towards humanity, SCP-682 or the Allied Master Computer from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream? I do not believe that there is a one of them hates humanity more than the others. I do believe it to be a tie game where they both would high-five about how much they mutually enjoy hating humanity. Java Man, thank you for a bomb of 50 memberships on today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you are getting a promotion from Java Name right now, make sure to thank Java Name for their generosity in building up the ranks of the green names so we can win the battle against the white names. And remember, gifting is organized by a statistic in your YouTube account of how much you interact with the channel. So every time there's a gifted membership, YouTube does a little randomization plus a weighted algorithm for how much you like, share, subscribe, comment, and chat on a channel. So the more you interact with a channel, the more likely you are to get a gifted membership when they are gifted. So keep that in mind. There is a way to do it and to improve your chances. What's wrong with white names? Oh, Intern Todd, we pity them so much. Their dejected white name existence without the ability to use the Site42 custom emojis. I mean, we could throw some SCP-999s in the chat to show the white names what they're missing. We are so sad that they have to suffer through a 30-second slow mode when green names are immune to slow mode, and the only thing stopping them from spamming is the Fist of Desk's glorious wrath. And so yeah, the green names, they're where it's at. But remember, Site42 staff, as much as we appreciate direct donations via Ko-Fi, YouTube, memberships, Patreon, all of those, reminder that you never have to give to Site42. While we appreciate your generosity and it helps me keep the lights on for myself, Desk, and the rest of the Site42 staff, it also helps us when you are a part of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you are part of the Broke Gang, and you are a starving artist, and you can't afford memberships or donations, as long as you are still liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, chatting on our stuff, as well as the SCP projects we support, the SCP Wiki itself, and its authors and artists, its animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. That is how you are helping us to support the SCP Wiki so that we can get more games of higher quality made, more SCP feature films, more SCP prestige television series, more SCP animated shows. The more we work together on this as a team, the bigger Site42 gets, the bigger our bullhorn gets to bring people into the wonderful arts community that is the SCP Foundation. So thank you for your generosity of service, of time, or of monetary gains, as is your best way of contributing to the Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codename Signal Boosters, cause. So thank you guys immensely. And Intern Bonitor, the Ko-Fi is in the pinned chat link / in the description link of the stream if you are looking for it. Now, a couple last minute donations while I was talking. Mentally Lost, thank you for donating again to say, as soon as you said you don't know him, he started running and I'm chasing him. He is trying to head to an exit gate A. Send some security to stop them quick. You heard it, security forces. Go get that quack fake researcher. Secondarily, Epsilon Troop 11, thank you for donating again to say, want to hear a joke about SCP-012? Never mind, it's impossible to complete. Got him! Oh, very good with the music. Good work with the sheet music joke about not being able to finish the joke. See, you're on point today. We appreciate it. Terragol, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some mint chocolate chip ice cream on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, did you hear 049 had a killer joke? I did not hear 049 had a killer joke. What is 049's killer joke? Meanwhile, while I wait for a response there, the outro. As always, at the end of stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs. Not the ones I personally wrote, that would be cheating. But you can go to my author page, that is the Sherm's Site 42 Hub and author page on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. We already talked about supporting Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. So whether you are a Patreon patron, a Ko-Fi donator, a YouTube member, or Super Chatter, or simply engaging with our work to help us boost our signal, we appreciate your generosity of time or money, as is your best way of supporting us. Thank you very kindly for that, as well as a thank you from the rest of the SCP Foundation, I am sure. Now, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 503-1515-550-8980. Content warning, the last one's a rough read. Site 42 staff. We are at the end of today's stream. It seems Tara Gall left a punchline for that joke. Thank you for donating again to say something about ham. My dead friend Raymond is not a joke, you hack. Do better. Do better. Now, Site 42 staff, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. I hope you're all good after that first 35 minutes of stream. Sheesh. Be safe, be well. Get some rest. What are stream schedules like? Intern Monitor, we stream every single day, but the time is always different, which is why you want to hit the bell here on YouTube, or if you are 18 or up, you can join the Site 42 Discord server and get the YouTube live alert roll so you can get pinged on Discord when we go live at the start of each stream. Site 42 staff, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I get up early when the sleeping pill wakes me. Take a wake-up pill and fill with energy. I power on hard and I check my messages, but I don't have any messages. Take a driving pill and head to my car. I drive around a bit 'cause work isn't very far. I call my phone and I check my messages, but I don't have any messages. All I know is driving on drugs feels better when they're prescription. All I know is the world looks beautiful. The world looks so damn beautiful. I feel fantastic, and I never felt as good as how I do right now, except for maybe when I think of how I felt that day, when I felt the way that I do right now. Right now I feel fantastic, and I never felt as good as how I do right now, except for maybe when I think of how I felt that day, when I felt the way that I do right now, right now, right now. The credit song is I Feel Fantastic by Jonathan Colton. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.